Loopy Pro templates can get messy fast. These next 5 tips will help you stay focused on making music. Let me show you how. So let's jump straight in with tip number 1. Color code everything in your Loopy Pro templates so that you can understand what is connected to what. For example, I have my guitar clips here in this nice bright green color. And then anytime I add a widget or some functionality that is for the guitar specifically, I'll also use that green color. On screen here, you can see this little widget I've got here. This changes my presets inside of ToneStack Pro. So again, it's guitar related, so it's got that green color. Also, if we jump into the mixer, you can see that I've even named my guitar group and also color coded it that same green color. It helps you stay organized and understand your templates even when you take a quick glance. Even if you use MIDI controllers or foot switches, I think it's still a really good idea to have a version of that widget on screen so that if you find yourself without one of those extra devices, you can still make music, and it even serves as a backup in a gig if a piece of your equipment should fail. For example, I have my different presets here for ToneStack Pro, which I also have mapped to a foot switch, and also I have a MIDI controller controlling a delay send, 1 2 1 2 for my vocals and some reverb. I have that available on screen if I need it, or on my controller itself. This means I can access it in 2 different ways, and if I change my controllers down the line, I can just remap to those widgets rather than get a bit confused as to where everything went. Just a quick one, if you're enjoying this video, please hit that like button. It really does help me out. Understanding the hierarchy when it comes to clip settings from a global, color group and individual clip level is really important, and it's often where people get confused and they get all kinds of funky behavior. For example, you can change clip settings on a global level, so you might want to change your counting options or enable threshold recording, for example, and then that would apply to every single clip in the entire project. Or in my case, I've got this orange kit group that I got set up here. I like to have count out quantization as 2 bars because most of the time I have a 2-bar phrase when it comes to recording my drum loops, but I don't want that on a global level, so it makes sense on a color level here. But you can still go down to an individual clip and override all of the recording settings here if you so wish. Now be careful here because quite often you can make some changes real quick to individual clips. You then end up copy and pasting those clips around in the Canvas editor, and all of a sudden things aren't behaving the way you want. So a quick bonus tip here is to always use the save points inside of Loopy Pro so that if you're going to start messing around with your clip settings, you can always revert back. Even naming your saves appropriately can really help. Keep it simple. This is more advice than it is showing you how to do something specific. But you can get carried away in Loopy Pro with amazing widgets that they can do all kinds of stuff. But you've got to ask yourself, do I really need that in a musical context? Because that's what you're here for after all. If you find that you need a new functionality, then add it in there. But don't go crazy adding loads of things that you don't know what to do with. I, for one, have been extremely stressed in gigs when I've tried to do too much. I'm dancing all over the screen, trying to get things to work, and it just doesn't work out. So now I try and keep it as simple as possible and only add things in when I'm really confident. Don't forget to road test your templates with real songs and real scenarios before you go out and do your gigs. So many times I've set things up in what I think is a perfect template with lots of clever configuration, only to realize that I accidentally pressed the wrong button. So then I realize I've got to change the way it works. Maybe I've set up some follow actions to do lots of things once I record that first loop, but I mess up that first loop and it sets off a long tail of different things that I thought was clever, but just ended up causing me a real headache. So definitely try things out with songs first at home, and you'll quickly realize if it's actually possible. Do a fake little gig, do some recordings, and see how you get on. Why didn't that work? So there it is. There's 5 simple hacks you can use to improve your Loopy Pro templates and keep you focused on making music. If you want to go deeper with Loopy Pro or grab some free templates that I've made, check the links in the description. Or if you want to keep learning here on YouTube, click the video on screen now where I'll show you how to build a template inside Loopy Pro from scratch.